Hi, welcome to automation-testing.in. In this video, we will see how to set up WinAppDriver. So in our previous videos, we have seen that what is WinAppDriver, how to enable developer mode in Windows 10, and what are the minimum capabilities and the dependencies we need to work with WinAppDriver. So we will put all together and we'll see how to set up WinAppDriver, and then we will write a sample program to launch any one of the applications from our Windows machine. Okay, so then what what are the steps to set up WinAppDriver? So we'll go one by one. So here, the first thing is download WinAppDriver installer. So from where you can download. So I'll provide the link. So this is the link. Okay. And then I'll increase the font. The second point is run the installer on a Windows 10 machine where your application under test is installed. Application under test is installed. Okay. So you need to run the installer, means we need to start the server. So enable developer mode in developer settings. Okay, and run WinAppDriver.exe file from the installation directory. So that we have done in the first step, download WinAppDriver installer. But the second step, run the installer, right? So then go to that particular location, and then what you can do, what could be the location? So where normally it will be. So here you can find the installer. Okay, see program files x86 and then Windows application driver. Okay, so now then what we need to do? Okay, so again, then what is the fifth point? Add what are the dependencies? Dependencies jars in your maven project. So I'm taking maven project as we are using Java. So we need some dependencies. What are the dependencies? We already discussed. What is that? Selenium, Java, and then Appium Java client. Okay, then Appium. Okay, these are the two mandatory dependencies we need. And after that, we will write sample program to launch Windows application. Okay, so these are the steps we will do. Okay, so download WinAppDriver installer, run the installer, enable developer mode, run WinAppDriver.exe to start the server, and add the dependencies and write a sample program to launch Windows application. So we'll go step by step. First, what is that? Download WinAppDriver installer. So you need to go to one of the GitHub pages. What is that? github.com/Microsoft/WinAppDriver/releases. Okay, so here you can find WinAppDriver version 1.2.1, and this is released just 2 days ago. While I'm making the video, this is just 2 days ago. So go down and you find this assets MSI file, Windows application driver underscore 1.2.1 MSI. Just download this. So then it will ask you to save. Once it is done, go to that particular location. So just double click and install. Okay, so you'll find this Windows application driver setup. Just normal next we can do. So accept the license agreement, click on next. So the location I already uh, written in the steps, right? So program files x86 Windows application driver. So if you want you can change, but there is no need to change. Okay, so next, install. So it will take some time to do that. So let it. So it will ask you to, do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? Just click yes. Then it will start installing and very quick, and then finish. Okay. So we are done first step and second step. All right. So we are done with, we downloaded and we run the installer. So enable developer mode. So I already shown in our previous videos in this playlist. So follow the same thing, enable developer mode in developer settings. Okay, that we already done. So run WinAppDriver.exe file from the installation directory. What is the installation directory? Program files x86 and then Windows application driver. Will go and go to this PC and go to the local disk. So x86, and then you'll find Windows application driver. Open that. Here you'll find WinAppDriver.exe. So you just double click on this, the server will start. Okay, it will open command prompt, Windows application driver listening for requests at http colon double slash 127.0.0.1 colon, the default port is 4723. Okay, this we need to remember, important point. Okay, we are done with the fourth point. So now we'll go to the fifth point, add dependencies. So as part of this, I am using Visual Studio Code to write our Java code. So I have created one maven project. You see that pom.xml file. Okay, so if you're not familiar with how to create a maven project in Visual Studio Code, I already made a video. So how to set up maven project in Visual Studio Code. I will provide the link in the description. Please follow this. And if you want to use Eclipse, so no problem. So there is another video I already did, how to create a maven project in Eclipse. I will also provide this link in the description, your wish. But why I'm using Visual Studio Code means it is very lightweight. Okay, the look and feel also very rich. And if you have less resources, means your RAM is less or your memory is less, then I prefer use Visual Studio Code. If you want to try, okay, I'm just giving a try this. So then here I created one class called WinAppDriver test. Okay, so before that we need to add these dependencies, right? We already seen in our previous videos where we can find all these things. So go to the location of maven repository. You see that Selenium-java. So I already opened. just copy this. So copy it to clipboard, go to this and go to the pom.xml. So when you create, means when you create this maven project, by default in the dependencies section, you will get JUnit. So I'm just removing this dependency. I don't need JUnit. I'll use TestNG later, but at present we don't need any unit testing framework. Okay, I'm just deleting. I copy this. So Selenium-java. Okay, so I'll just arrange this. And apart from this, I need Appium, right? So go back to the same, search for Appium. These things we already seen in our previous video. So yeah, you see that Appium Java client. So click on this, take the latest version 7.3.0. So you just copy and come here and paste the same thing in the dependencies section. Okay, I'll just arrange this. So when the moment when you save, so it will start, it should start download. So, and another problem in this Visual Studio Code is one-time setup. You will find, you see that test option here in the left side. Click on this. You will find this is in lightweight mode. Switch to standard mode. The moment when you do that, you see that here public class WinAppDriver, right? You will find a run option. Okay. So I'll just click on this, switch to standard mode. So it will take a bit time. So once it is done, you see that here also some process is happening. You see here where I am highlighted this. So here some process is happening. So it will ask some settings. At present we don't need. We can just click this into mark. We just cancel that. So still processing. You can find here some process is happening in the blue dot. So let it happen. Once we are done with this step, so what we need to do, we can write a sample program to launch Windows application. Okay, so for that we will have a calculator, right? The calculator application, this is one of the Windows applications. So I want to launch this using WinAppDriver. Okay, so the application what I'm going to use is calculator, just for an example. Okay, going forward we will take another application and we'll try to automate by taking some test cases, but this is just a basic program. Okay, I'll close this. So let's go to here and I think still happening. I'll pause the video and we'll see once it is done. Yeah, it's done. It took some time for me to complete this, and you see that the process is stopped. And you see that here you will find run and debug option here. Okay, you'll find run and debug option once that process completes. Okay, so now go back to your file WinAppDriver test, and then here we will write the sample program. Okay, so when you're writing sample program here, we need desired capabilities, right? We already added the dependencies. Okay, when it comes to the dependencies, if it is not refreshing, nothing is happening, after control S means saving this pom.xml file, you will find one thumb symbol here. See, updating WinAppDriver configuration, right? So just means WinAppDriver means the project name. Okay, the project name that they are given. Just click on this. So it will do some building and it will download all the dependencies. Okay, So now go back to your test. Here we will write the sample code. So what is that? First we need desired capabilities, and desired capabilities. So you might get, you may not get this intelligence sometimes. So cap is equals to new desired capabilities. So obviously you will get some error here. So just try to run this. If it is not giving, so obviously you'll get error, you see. So no access. So when you hover on this, now you'll find a bulb symbol here. Just click on this. You see, import desired capabilities arc.openqa.selenium.remote. Just click on this. Okay, so we are done. What happened? Something wrong. Okay, so let me remove this again. I'm getting some issue here. The alignment, you see that something. Okay, and then if you click on run, you see that the issue gone. So, and this is a weed. I don't know why it is happening. Okay, no problem. Cap dot set capability. So what are the capabilities we need to set? That we have seen app, and you need to give the location of your calculator. Okay, and after that you have Windows driver. Okay, so Windows driver, and it is kind of Windows element. So we have web element, right? The same way we have Windows element, and then driver is equals to new Windows driver of Windows element, and then in the brackets you need to provide new URL, and you need to provide the server URL which we have seen where it is started, and you need to provide the capabilities as a parameter. Okay, so then this much is enough. So these 3 lines are enough to launch your application. Okay, so after that I'm just giving some thread dot sleep of 5 seconds to see the execution properly, and then I'll say driver dot quit. Okay, after that I want to close my application. If you're familiar with the WebDriver, you see this is driver dot quit will close this. You see that I am getting some errors, so we need to import this. Okay, when you click on this, you will find the bulb symbol. You see import Windows driver. That is from where it is coming, io.appium.java-client.windows. Okay, and the same way, so there is, I don't know what. So let me close and open again. Now it is now it looks good. So the same way we need to provide Windows element also. Okay, so first we need to provide the app where your exe file is. Okay, so where is your exe file? So then I'll get that location. So normally the calc will be inside this location. You see that C Windows System 32 and then calc.exe. Okay, this is the application, and Windows element also we need to add that reference from the Appium. Okay, so now we need to provide this URL. This URL is coming from where? So it is from java.net. Okay, java.net, and obviously you'll find the thread.sleep also. So add throws declaration here. Okay, now we are done. We need only the server information, where it is when you go here. So this is the server. Okay, and we need to provide the server where it is listening. Right. So again, you might get the exception and throws declaration. So mall found URL exception. So that's it. So only desired capabilities, set the capability this app where your app is Windows driver, new Windows driver, you need to provide where your server is, and you need to provide the capability. And these are not exactly needed, but I want to show that after 5 seconds, I want to close that application. You need to close the application properly. Otherwise, in the backend, you'll find running these services, it might cause some issues. Okay. So this is proper way of writing the code. Now everything is done. Now if I run this one, it should launch what? Calculator. Right. So I'll just click on this run. So for the first time, it will take some time. You see that you'll find these kind of options means it's running. So the terminal open. If everything is done, you see that the calculator opened. You see, and something is running in the background, and after 5 seconds it should close, but I see some issues here. So what is that? Failed to locate opened application window with app ID and process. So something no problems. The motto of this is when you run, the app should open. So I run again. So you'll find the app here. You see here, it's opening in the background. You see, it opened. Okay. So this is how you can open, means launch this application using exe. But sometimes in the previous videos, we discussed that not only with the exe, we can use AUM ID. So what is that AUM ID? How to get that AUM ID? I'll tell you in the next video. But what is the AUM ID for the calculator? So that I captured. So I'll provide this information here. All right. So this is the one. Microsoft dot Windows calculator _8 some random number. So we don't bother about all these things, but this is the AUM ID. I'll put in this one AUM ID. So when I run this, it now also it should open the calculator application. Okay, I'll just run this. You see that calculator opened with the, you see that after 5 seconds, the driver.quit, it closed. Okay, so perfectly working. I'm not very sure what happened with this exe, but I look into that. That is not a problem here. So both the ways, right? I'll try to run again, no problem. So we'll see again. You see that the calculator open. We have given thread.sleep for 5 seconds. It will see after 5 seconds, the driver.quit. So it closed the application. Okay, so this is how you can set up WinAppDriver and you can launch your application. Okay, so what are the things we have done? So we have downloaded WinAppDriver installer and we ran that, means we installed that, and we enabled the developer mode, and we have run that WinAppDriver.exe file, and we have added the dependencies which are needed to work with WinAppDriver in our maven project. After that, we have written the sample program and we executed using exe file and AUM ID. Okay, so I'll provide all this information in the description for your reference. Okay, so that's all in this video. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for further and interesting updates.